Hey everybody, I'm live now, but I'm gonna give it a few minutes just for people to arrive and for 8 o'clock to get here. So just hold on, but we'll be streaming soon. Just gonna announce it on Twitter right now. I'll see. I guess if you're watching this later, just fast forward to when the action happens. So. So during this, I've got my notebook here so I can, if you want to leave me a comment, whatever, if you want to just ask me a question, whatever, that's kind of what we're here for. But we'll give it just a few minutes for people to arrive. Kind of crazy, like looking at this, everything's on like a delay. So it's yeah, here I am from a few seconds ago, and yeah, I can see it now. So yeah, if you can see, my hair is getting a little longer. I guess I'm not going to get a haircut for a while. So. My engraved Yeti cup. It's got JSC on it for Jeremy S. Cook. Not bad. Did that a while ago. It was okay. So this is my workshop. You can kind of see everything here. Here's my milling machine. Gotta lay it behind me, and a fan, of course. I'll probably turn this fan off when we start really filming, but for now, it's pretty hot here in Florida. So we got a minute left, and we'll go ahead and start this off pretty soon. We'll go ahead and close the garage so people walking by outside don't think I'm crazy or crazier. So according to my PC, it's 8 o'clock, and my name is Jeremy S. Cook, or just Jeremy Cook usually. Let's see, it says something about our community guidelines. I don't really, need to know much about that, but let's see, say Oh, and Elde Mercedes, good evening. Hello, nice to see you. Thanks for commenting. Hopefully, I'll be able to answer your questions, show you anything that you've been wondering about my beast and stuff. But anyway, again, I'm Jeremy Cook, and I guess I did a talk on Hackaday at the Hackaday Super Conference last year about my StrandBeests. I've made several of them. I think 6 by the time it's all said and done. And one of the coolest ones I think is called the ClearCrawler. So I'm gonna show that off. It's a walking StrandBeest, like a robot type deal, but it's all actuated by two motors, so it drives kind of like a tank. Yeah, so let's get started. So first off, let's go ahead and get it out of its case. See here, it's big Pelican style case. It's actually by Monoprice, and I would say, you know, even though this might not be quite as good as an actual Pelican case, I mean, it's a bit cheaper and, you know, seems to do the job pretty well. So if you're not on the job, if you're not like a professional roadie, I think it's a pretty sweet deal. Yeah, I got the Hackaday logo on there, the RC 2014, Jeremy S. Cook, Hackaday Super Conference logo, of course. But inside is my ClearCrawler. So let's pop that out of there. You can see, well, let's see what it is. Ground. And oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Glad you think my videos are well done. It's really awesome. Thanks a lot. So hopefully this live stream will be well done as well, but we'll just have to see about that. So let's look a little bit closer at my ClearCrawler. Now, if you've been following any of my stuff, you know what, I am gonna turn that fan on because it's pretty hot in here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If there's a problem, then, you know, let me know. You guys in more northerly climates, I suppose you're probably jealous of me now right now, but July you won't be. Anyway, so here's the beast. You know, it's made out of clear polycarbonate. These things are roughly 1/2 inch. I think maybe 5, maybe 7/16. I'm not really sure. But, you know, the coolest thing is just the way the gears are all cut. I mean, they're just so beautiful. This is a 1/4 inch and an 1/8 inch for some of the top stuff. And then the head itself is just a cylinder. Well, thank you so much. And is it? Thank you so much. Well, I hopefully people decide to subscribe to me. Well, I guess we'll have to see. So yeah, you can see the sides. You got a smaller thickness on these driving gears, and then the outer gears, I think it's about a 1/2 inch, maybe 7/16, and that all drives these 8 legs in a Janssen mechanism arrangement. I called it a Theo Jansen for the longest time, but I'm pretty sure his name's actually Theo Jansen, as somebody from I guess Holland actually told me. So anyway, but let's go ahead and power this beast up. Got right here, it's powered by a LiPo battery. I think it's 3S. Okay, so sorry about that. I guess I'm live again. I don't know what happened exactly, but we'll let's see. I'll go ahead and reload this on that thing. Hopefully that's not gonna happen again, but we will see, I guess. All right, we'll reload that there. Okay, great. Things are good, I guess. So now that I got my 3S LiPo out, I think it's 3S. Yeah, 3 cells, 11.1 volts. Let's get that out. Let's hook it up. It should be. Let's see. So we'll put that in there. And there we go. It comes. The beast comes to life. You know, the way I did, I cut this all out on a CNC router, actually my Romax router. I'll go ahead and turn around and show that off for a second. It's a 3 foot by 2 foot CNC router. Yeah, pretty standard. Yeah, but actually the dust collector, I made that as a custom thing. feature on Hackaday, and it's been pretty successful. I've been pretty happy with how it works. Magnetic, really cool. I'd go ahead and check those videos out if you want. You just look up CNC dust collector. It's pretty cool. Works pretty well. Right now, the machine, for some reason, it's got an electrical problem, so hopefully I can get that corrected. But all that background out of the way, once the battery's connected, then you can put it in these little CNC milled holders, Velcro holders. There we go. Looking good. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, hopefully it'll be fine now. I guess we'll see what happens. All right, cool. So that's hooked up. Got power on that. And then of course I need a remote control. Now this controller, as you can see, it's very makeshift. It's just got a, was it a TB? I can't even remember off the top of my head, but one of you commenters can probably tell me what it is. It's just a really common radio transceiver held together with a zip tie and a joystick board on the top. So let's hook this up with a USB cable. So just Arduino Uno, pretty standard fare. Got that. And with that connected, I should be able to, well, it didn't work yet, but may have to disconnect this and reconnect. We'll see what happens. All right. All right, so that should be obeying my commands now. Go left, right, up, down, left, right. Whoop. Didn't like something, I don't know. Oh, and if you press in, it's got a little beeper. So eventually I may change that so that it, it does, well, you know, does something besides just beeping, like says, you know, get away, you know, check it out or whatever, but left, right, up, down. And then if you want to move it forwards, then you've got these buttons that go left, right, forwards, backwards. But they don't work right now because I got this big red switch, which this is a bit more of a priority for me, to be honest, than maybe it should have been in the grand scope of the project. But you turn this on, lights up, and it looks awesome. So now that I've got that all out of the way, let's go ahead and see it just walking around a little bit. Move that back. And here we go. So forwards, backwards, left, right, left. And yeah, this desk isn't nearly big enough for it. So let's go ahead and put it on the ground and see what it does. Put that on the ground. And we'll go ahead and move this over here. So there's my case again. All right, there we go. So all right, looking good. We'll get this on the ground now. Yeah, thanks. I really like that CNC. It's been a really good tool for me. So yeah, go forwards, left, right. And you know, the thing is here, everything's controlled off these two little motors, not even servo motors, they're just regular DC gear motors. This one and this one, I think they're 12 spec for 12 volts, but they can take a little more. In fact, I've been thinking about maybe trying to put more current, more voltage than they're spec for on it for a while. I don't know how that would work out exactly, but I think it could probably endure for a while. Definitely make it faster. I mean, it's a lot faster than any other beast I've made, and I'll show some of those off later. But yeah, let's just see it dance around a little bit for now. So yeah, going back, forwards. And this thing, the whole thing, it's got 88 thrust bearings on it, just to reduce friction. And that was actually a pretty decent expense for it. And I found that with this, you know, a bigger would be nice, but you know, as it gets bigger, things just scale up exponentially, both in price and just having to actually work with it. I mean, having to have two people around to get it to get it moving around your shop is a real barrier to getting something done. So let's see. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've thought about laser cutters too. I guess what scares me a little bit is the need for exhaust extraction, fume extraction on it. I don't know how big of a barrier that is with the little ones, but it is something to consider, I guess. I'm a member of Tampa Hackerspace, which they have a laser there. I should probably take advantage of that more. It would make it a whole lot easier. A guy from Germany makes some kind of like these. He goes by a Joe or a hobby engineer. He makes some pretty cool stuff, but he does it all in a laser cutter with wood generally. Very similar design, and I got to give him props for this. He's actually the guy who maybe you think of this central gear mechanism rather than the Janssen mechanism that just connects everything to the center. Really great if you have access to a CNC machine and you don't have to rely all on PVC. But having built a couple of these now, it seems like I just can't believe he was able to make those with the way he did. I guess if you practice or if you work with something enough, you're able to perfect it. But it was an impressive design when I first saw it, but now that I've actually built a few, it's even more impressive. So let me go ahead and pick this up, and I'll show you a few more details of the build. Yeah, no, you're right though. The heat generated, you're probably right. That probably would be the barrier. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess the thing to do is just to try it and see. What do you think? You think you got? Tell you what. In your opinion, how much voltage you think something like this could take, at least for a short amount of time? Yeah, well, while you goes ahead and answers, I'll see what else we can see on this. So the cool thing is the control setup. Obviously, let's see. Control setup. You got the main switch. Kind of the way I designed it was that everything's still on when that's off, except you can't move it. So it's not going to walk around on the table when you're trying to diagnose a problem. Another thing that everything's powered off an Arduino Nano or probably some sort of clone. You've got a motor driver board. These lever nuts, these are great. You just snap them in and they hold like so many different gauges of wire. Got these misalignment couplings, helical shafts, I guess. Can't even remember shaft collars. I mean, there's just so much money in hardware, and I wouldn't say that much money, but it was a decent expense for this. But then, if you scale it up to something that I've tried before, it's just the costs just add up astronomically. You get a little capacitor here to keep the voltage on things. Same thing with on the radio module. And then looking at the head a little bit more closely, let's see. You can see it's got a 3D printed top. Actually, tap some stuff for the bolts. Let's see. Got an LED matrix, 2 of them on the eyes. So that's one of my, I guess, on the to-do list to actually make those, a little bit more expressive, because right now they're just static. Then you can see the speaker right there just beeps when you say something, and then that hole in the middle looks like a nose, but it's not just a nose. I've been thinking about putting a FPV camera on it, and I think I'll do that. I think that'll, if I pursue this project anymore, I probably will put a FPV camera on it. I've got some other designs some more ideas that I'll hopefully show off later. Well, I mean, why not right now? Okay, let's see. So I guess the consensus is 10 to 20% of rated voltage. More of an issue with stepper motors, DC motors. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So not like it needs that much more speed. But now that we've kind of gone over the design of this, let me show you some. Right here I've got a kind of a just a kind of a ready-made controller, rough and ready controller. But I do have a goal for this that's been in the works for quite some time. So I'll go ahead and give you a little preview. Let me just get it just a second. So here's some ideas that I've had for kind of a future iteration of this. Let's see. So what I was thinking is that when I do install the first-person view camera, what I can do is this little Pelican style case. Again, it's not from Pelican. I think it's from actually Harbor Freight, which, you know, like anything else, there's good and bad things about it. But yeah, I even got a FPV camera here. This, I'll talk about that later. Same thing. So yeah, I've got pretty much all the stuff here. But the idea was that I could put an FPV camera on it, put this little monitor on here, and make like a little joypad or whatever that just pops out. Got like a little screen and stuff. Should be awesome. Oh, hey Spencer, nice to see you again. Let's see. Oh yeah, you went to some of the World Maker Fairs. Yeah, I enjoyed the World Maker Fairs. It's too bad they're closed. Maybe we'll get to visit one before too long. But yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, I wonder if I'm sure I passed you at some point. Anyway, but with this, I was just thinking I could put the screen here. Got my receiver. Another switch like that, which will be awesome. And basically, the whole idea is that I could have something like this built into this, called like a first-person display. Like a target maybe or whatever. And if you're wondering what I do with a target, I could have a laser on it, or I could also have an airsoft gun. At least that was the idea. I got this airsoft mechanism from a place called, actually, let me show you. It was a refurbished Uzi kit. So that was interesting. But when you tear the whole Uzi down, basically just come to this this thing that just cycles back and forth and spits out. Let's see, spits out BBs. In fact, why don't you guys want me to? Oh yeah, well that's always good. Great that you live so close. Hopefully you're staying safe now that everything is going a little bit crazy there. But yeah, I was hoping I could fire this up and fire some shots, but I don't know. I don't think I have the proper adapter handy. But the whole thing is this sucks in, shoots out. This just goes bam, 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 and just sprays the BBs out, or the airsoft pellets out. So the eventual goal for this is, and I've been neglecting it for probably the better part of a year now, but to have a sort of FPV console that I can kind of like look at and manipulate like a video game, and then maybe have some weapons on it too, which is kind of a later iteration. I mean, the cool thing with this is I made it kind of to be a platform, whereas some of my earlier ones were just, well, I build this and it's done or it's not done. Yeah, so it's been a cool project. But if you're wondering, this is not my first StrandBeest by any means. In fact, I've had many prototypes before that. So if you want, keep watching and I'll show off some of my earlier versions. In fact, usually the prototypes are smaller, but in this case, the prototypes were actually quite a bit bigger. And I don't have the garage space for them anymore, so only a small portion is available. So this right here is from my first StrandBeest. It was supposed to have 4 legs. I thought maybe I could make it with just 4 legs. You see, it's got the same sort of mechanism. The Janssen mechanism goes like that. Everything's fastened there, and it just pushed by a single linkage there, so it just goes in and out. This was about the size of I don't know what you'd say, maybe a small golf cart. but it never worked. You know, part of it was just that the forelegs were just not stable enough. So my idea was, rather than make it smaller, I decided to make it even bigger. The legs were the legs. They were the same size, but they were made out of MDF. They were cut in a water jet machine, and if you know anything about MDF, this is extremely heavy. And having 8 of these instead of 4 was, well, it just wasn't walking. In fact, I've got a couple of videos of this one, but it's like me and my cousin Jackson pushing it around. Yeah, and it broke very soon after that. But you know, you can see kind of the PVC linkages, almost like an ode to Janssen, or maybe because I didn't have anything better to make it with at the time. But and you can even see some marks from some. I tried to use carbon powder to reduce the friction, which actually did work a bit, but yeah, not enough. This thing was way too heavy. I mean, I could barely manipulate it. And that's the thing too, you know, at this size, it was just too big to work on, for me to work on by myself. So, you know, if you gotta have help, you know, unless you're paying somebody, it's always limited to how much they wanna help out. So after that, I went quite a bit smaller. I call this one the StrandBeest. This is like the first one that I actually got to walk. So I'll pull that out. Let me see. Yeah, so I got this to walk, believe it or not, and it's all stuck together with hot glue. Yeah, it doesn't stick together that much, but it walked very intermittently to begin with, and because of the fact that the legs, they're made just like, you know, basically just like Janssen's. You've got the central crankshaft and everything, all made in hot glue, which wasn't a good solution whatsoever. It soon fell apart, but I did get this thing to walk for a while. You kind of have some notable portions of it as you got these shaft or these connectors that connect these little gear motors to the crankshafts. And then kind of a unique thing here is that I use this broken little tiny PCB based drone. Basically works just the same way. You know, you got two drone motors. One goes a little bit faster than the other, and just like on a drone, when it turns left or right that way, well, if you don't need to reverse, then it works pretty well. Put some heat shrink on here for some reason, and then brass rods. I mean, it worked, but it was not the end all be all, I guess. But interesting enough, this one and the other two, everything's based on the same CAD program, same CAD drawing. I just scaled everything up, kept like adding onto it as I went. So there's like several revisions that you can just see kind of in a line. I don't have that handy right now, but yeah, it was a lot of work. But for some reason, you know, when I first saw it, I thought, well, there's no way I'll ever build anything like that. But you know, you build one linkage and one StrandBeest, and then another and another, and eventually you get good at it. I mean, you know, over 7 years or so. So, you know, I would recommend doing this if you want, but you know, it's a big commitment. So yeah, so I got this, which worked only okay, and it even kind of rolled around a little bit. But then after that, I scaled it up to something that probably works even today, although I don't have it charged. And just a second. Well, I say that, I say it works today. Let me see. This, if this looks familiar, you know, you got like cobwebs on it and gear motors and everything else. If this looks familiar, it's pretty much the same thing as the StrandBeest or the ClearCrawler, except that I called it the StrandBeest 2, maybe. You know, I don't know what I called it, but it was yeah, it worked really well. Took it to several maker fairs. What's the ideal size for, Spencer asked, what's the ideal size for a beginner to make build? You know, I would say this is a pretty good size if you're going to do that. If you want to cut one out, it's you know, not too big, not too small. The big ones are just real pain. You know, you might, I'll show this off a little bit later, but you might consider modifying like a kit too. That's a really easy way to do it, and something I didn't do until way too long afterwards. But yeah, this is the same thing. I mean, same dimensions basically as the ClearCrawler, except the ClearCrawler is stretched out just a little bit, and this one, it's got relay control rather than theoretically differential control. You know, also this has the turret on the side, so you can put a GoPro camera on it. And this worked for several years. Took it to several maker fairs, and yeah, worked. It wasn't too bad. So you know, that's you know, right now I'm just going through it more or less chronologically. So had that, the Strand mouse, and then after that, I scaled it up yet again to let's see, CNC. Oh, okay. Anna asked, do you think parts of the clear one can be 3D printed instead of CNC'd? You know, I think it could be, but the cool thing about what it's made of, the polycarbonate, is that material is very strong. In fact, I would, don't ask me how I know this, but I would guess the large gears could take at least a 22 shell. And they're very strong. I think it could be 3D printed, but you know, I don't know. It wouldn't be clear. You know, that clear PLA is kind of more like translucent, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so maybe not. I'm not really sure. But after this, I decided to scale things up yet again, and this one actually walked. So let me put this aside, and I'll show you probably the coolest thing I've built. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna take this here. I'm gonna take you to it. So yeah, let's get the camera out here. Oh, and by the way, my handy dandy camera stand. It's let's see, it's just a concrete solder squid, so works pretty well. But that's a little side note, I guess. All right, here we go. So this is the Clear Walker. So you know, this is the Clear Walker, and then the little one's the Clear-Crawler, like, you know, like a baby or something. This one was actually featured on the Discovery Channel in Canada. Had this cool show called The Daily Planet. So they actually came down here and filmed me and stuff, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think probably they wanted to come get out of the cold for a while too. So you know, didn't mind that. But this one walked enough to get filmed and looked pretty good, but it never walked quite consistently enough to take it around. And plus, it's gigantic. I mean, it's, you know, I'm 6'4", and I mean, I don't know. It's the size of maybe like a giant dog, like a Pyrenees or something. Probably like our dog Evie. She's only like a quarter Pyrenees, but yeah, it's got the same sort of gear system, except these are a bit bigger and they go a whole lot slower. I mean, I don't know if you can read that, but it's 32 RPM, and then like on the ClearCrawler, it's got a cool switch that you can just push if it's going too fast or getting out of control or whatever. And then you can also adjust the speed with this, got like a dial, et cetera, et cetera. Learned a couple things from this. I mean, first of all, the central, you know, one of these gears has to be pretty big. Otherwise, it's just gonna flop off. And that was a big problem with this. I mean, the other thing is just the expense of the bearings eventually got to be unreasonable for this. But overall, it was a fun experience. And I guess like the biggest one, this one's cut on a CNC water jet machine, because I don't have one quite big enough for this. Actually, mine might do it now, but it'd be tough. So let's see. After that, you know, the ClearCrawler is the latest one I made. But after this one, then I decided to go a little bit smaller again. Let me just fasten this to my quote unquote stand, and I'll get that out for you. So I'm not sure exactly where this came in the scheme of things, but it's a, let's see, a couple of servo stepper motors, voltage regulator, which I should probably take that one off so I I could, yeah, I should get a laser cutter. You're right, Spencer. I can't wait either, but I guess if I see like a bunch of fumes coming out of my house, it looks like I've got a chimney in my garage, and then my neighbors might say something. Do I have any? No, I do not have an amateur radio license. So sounds interesting though. But this one, it's controlled by an Arduino Nano. You know, it's just kind of stuck together. But the cool thing is these little kits. You know, I was talking to earlier, Spencer. Like these little kits are cool because you can actually separate them in the middle, and then with a bit of hot glue and stuff, bit of hot glue and zip ties, you can actually make them so that a motor turns both of them. So at one point, this did work decently well, and I think I used one of those really like cheap like key fob type remotes with it, and use steppers with it, and these stepper drivers, which was totally unnecessary. But it's what I had available, and then I got this Arduino clone, and oh, and this is the radio receiver. So yeah, not a bad little build. But even though it wasn't that exciting, it did lead to something very cool. That's right. You may have seen this featured in Hackspace magazine. Actually, I wrote the article for that. It's got some LED eyes. Let's see, I'll go ahead and plug it in, see if it's got any juice. I probably should have charged it, but let's see. Oh, look at that. So yeah, it should put up a Wi-Fi signal. I don't know, it's making some sort of vibration, so I don't know what's going on here. So, but it should have a Bluetooth signal that it puts out that allows me to control it with my phone, but my phone is actually filming this whole thing, so it's kind of inconvenient for streaming. But the cool thing was, this is actually one of the first things I 3D printed, but it's the separated StrandBeest kit, and I've got this like central chassis on it, and then I painted it like a Star Wars / like, you know, World War II battleship motif, and then on the edges you've got these rocket launcher tubes, and these are actually functional. I can use Nitinol wires with these. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's got Nitinol wires between these lever nuts, so that if you put these in the fuse, it'll actually ignite it upon command, and powers that from the 9-volt battery. Made a video on this, and it ends up kind of blowing up the first time, so that's why I put the 9-volt there, because it's not drawing a ton of current from it. Yeah, but same sort of design. You get little motors on the sides, and then the zip tie / hot glue controls. And then this one's not quite hooked up correctly. But anyway, when we'll put enough current through the Nitinol wires, shoots the fireworks out, and makes a fun little video. It's funny though, when I was filming it, there was just so happened I let off a couple bottle rockets with it. And then afterwards, you just hear in the background this like the fire trucks were going after somebody. So, you know, the Hackspace magazine piece, I put some reference about Norman and Fireman Sam or something. I was really surprised they didn't take it out, but you know, hopefully somebody else got a kick out of that who likes children's cartoons, or maybe a child read it. I don't know. Hopefully they didn't get like any bad ideas. Yo, StrandBeest Wars. Yeah, you know, somebody asked me about that. I said it was more of a peaceful robot, but I mean, you're right though. If it could take a bullet, it could take a robot, right? Robot assault. Yeah, so this was a fun one. Let's see. And then after that, I was just, you know, sometimes when I build these things, I think, well, it's time to just hang it up with the StrandBeest. But after this came the ClearCrawler, which was fun. And then, well, I guess I haven't built anything since. I guess the next project, as far as these go, is the control scheme, little box that I can, you know, play with like a little video game, and then you know, the weapons, of course, the airsoft gun. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that'll go well. Yeah, so I guess I guess the question is that's all my StrandBeest, at least that I can think of. You know, I've made so many, it's kind of hard to keep track at this point. But you know, if you guys are watching, is there anything, any questions you have for me that I could answer? I mean, otherwise, maybe I'll look around my shop a little bit. In fact, maybe I'll do that now if you guys want to see. So yeah, the CNC router, it tends to get, well, you know, sometimes it gets something put on it, but obviously we don't need that right now. Let's see. And then this, you know, I'm so proud of this. Like it's got magnets on it, and then you just put it like that, pull it off. And actually, one thing I was a little bit disappointed though, is somebody started selling it on Etsy without permission. So it's a big no-no. You know, they could have just asked me. I mean, maybe they could have sponsored me or something, but no, they just had to, whatever. Yeah, well, good to see you, Spencer. Yeah, I understand. What is it, like about 1 o'clock, I guess. So really appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, this let's see, claps right on there, and printed out on my little Monoprice Maker Ultimate printer. So that's pretty cool. Got a bunch of junk there, and let's see, bunch of paint and stuff, and random wood. I mean, even random stuff on the ceilings. Got some water, just lights. These lights are awesome. These triple lobe lights. They use the same sort of voltage and power as a normal incandescent bulb, but since LEDs are so much more efficient, then they can you know, put out just a ton of light. I mean, it's a huge difference. I would definitely recommend them. Got a little lathe here. I don't actually use it that much, but when you need it, it's great to have. And then, you know, here in Florida, having a fan is really essential, because even now it's hot, even though it's not. I mean, it's like close to 9 o'clock at night. Here's one of my first machines. This Grizzly CNC machine, or not CNC, milling machine. Pretty neat. And then I got a bunch of random stuff. Yeah, let's see, bunch of stickers. Got the Tindy, my sticker, FamiLab, Tindy, another Tindy, Shaper. I think that's a pretty cool concept. So, you know, hopefully that'll keep expanding. Space Hoon, you know, that guy makes some cool stuff. Golden Groves, Maker Pipe, shout out to them. Not sure quite what this guy is, but you know, thanks Sean for that. He sent it to me a while ago. Tampa Hackerspace, shout out to them. Onion, Maker Geeks, Hackaday, all these other people down here. Yeah, got this guy. So, oh, and an air compressor. I would totally recommend getting one of these. I was kind of on the fence about getting one, but now that I have one, it's such a useful tool. Propane, whatever, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, and then all kinds of junk under here. And kind of crazy, I saw one of my old videos, and I saw that I had like a respirator up on the wall. I'm like, I don't think I have that anymore, but it'd be pretty nice if I had it now. And I ended up finding two just in storage here. So that's pretty nice. It was like a P95 mask. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I'll leave this up for just a second, but you know, if you guys have any questions, I'd love to hear questions, comments, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I can play with this a little bit more, I guess. Always good to have a little StrandBeest, which incidentally means beach monster or beach beast, from what I understand. Never actually met Theo Janssen, but you know, if you happen to be watching there, then hello. All right, so turn that on. So the question is, what technologies are you looking forward to in 2020? That's an interesting question. I mean, I think, you know, I've had my particular 3D printer for less than a year, so I think that's going to be cool to use that more. It's a really interesting question. I think for me, you know, I've been learning a lot more about like IoT and stuff, and just like I made this, made a garage door opener thing out of an ESP8266 Wemos D1 Mini. Going to do a story about that for arrow.com at some point, but I'll give you a little preview here. You know, basically just any sort of IoT things that you can kind of roll yourself is awesome. I think. I mean, even like my printer, I've got Octoprint running, so I've got a Raspberry Pi here, and then I've got another Pi running my NAS, and then I've got another one working on like an automatic watering fixture. So I just think, you know, myself, I'm a mechanical engineer by training, so just the fact that I'm able to, I guess, learn more and more about electronics and just wireless technology and everything. I think, you know, maybe that's a bit of a general answer and more an answer for me in particular. But yeah, I just think wireless technology and learning more and more about that is pretty awesome. Yeah, I agree. Octoprint is pretty awesome. So, you know, shout out to Gina H. I'm not quite sure what her last name is. I'm sure I would butcher it. But yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic program. In fact, my Octoprint, my Pi installation, I was thinking about putting a Wi-Fi range extender on it so that I can, you know, get Wi-Fi a little bit out of the house, maybe like at our pool and stuff. We got like a pool like very close that maybe I could like pick up Wi-Fi on. Maybe. Well, I guess we'll see. But you know, the Pi is in the correct place, so why not? Yeah. Anything else? Anything else I can answer for you? Oh, I guess I'll just play with this a little bit. What? Let's see. But yeah, I mean, the cool thing is, you know, you can go forwards, backwards, whatever. It's got a full charge right now, but as you know, as it goes down, obviously it doesn't go quite as well. And look, it doesn't even need a cover for this. I dropped this, went to USF Engineering Expo, ended up breaking that off, but you know, it still looks pretty good. And yeah, so yeah, well, you know, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. You know, I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream now because I think it's kind of the story I had to tell. So thanks so much. And you know, if you want to find me, I'm on jeremyscook.com. That's probably the most central location for everything. Obviously, my YouTube channel, Jeremy S. Cook. If you like, subscribe, that'd be awesome. Even the notification things, that's cool too. Mechanical users are well. Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate that. Are you an engineer yourself? Oh, cheers, Positive Waves. Appreciate you watching. Also appreciate your sponsorship, of course. Actually planning on doing a podcast pretty soon again. So the creativity podcast. So in case you guys are wondering. But yeah, I'll go ahead and sign off here. But again, thanks so much for watching, and you guys be safe out there. See you later. Electrical engineer. Very cool. Well, hopefully I'll get to see you sometime, and if not, I'll take it easy. Bye.